Bangers only also covers games which make you want to bang your head into a wall on repeat. It's true. We didn't say what was banging, you know. Yzma is so good. So sad there's not a Kronk on this team, too. It's the real tragedy of SK Gaming is the lack of a player named Kronk to go with Yzma. All right. Poppy in, Ashe. Poppy, or I should say Poppy out, Ashe out. Again, Nocturne Rumble out on red side.
And I think Gragas has a very similar strength that he can just knock someone into him, and similar like Nasir does. If you would get banned.
Not watching the Heretics game? I will watch the Heretics game. I'm going to watch all 5 games that happened last night. I just didn't want to make the titles too long. I will watch all 5 games, don't you worry.
You could also opt into something else, like the Jax. Take it away,
if you're Oscar right now, if you're Oscar Finn, how do you dunk on this Jax?
Fanslovika, you just want me to... You're just a Polish man who wants me to talk about Jankos. I know your game.
Look to pick a top laner on free and ban 2 to make sure I'm fine, or I drop
With Riot planning their own Hall of Fame, do you think any Western players get in? Probably some of them should get in. Like, I think Diamond Prox should get in. Do I think that Bjergsen or Doublelift should get in? Absolutely not. Okay, wow, Draven Renata with the Milio ban. Irrelevance Jax has been pretty good over the last year.
Coming out from Humanoid here, this is not getting locked in. I like this by SK because they clearly value the counter pick in the AD carry. They're like, oh, all the AD carries are open, let's not pick it. Let's just counter pick our bot lane fully and let you guys choose the AD carry, we'll have the answer. So they let them take the Kalista and respond with Raven, which will be responded with Blitzcrank, which is a typical response into me range supports.
I'm actually slightly surprised that Fnatic didn't decide to go for a seer.
I agree. He wants you to talk about Forgiven. I love Forgiven.
They would definitely get, but hey, again, shows that they want June to be on a playmaker.
Do I think Azir is good on this patch? I mean, Azir is always going to be good as long as he's viable. Safe laning phase, playmaking capabilities, excellent zone control, fast Baron damage. I mean, he's just very good at the professional level. Love the Blitz pick, though. Love the Blitz pick into Draven Renata. It's a lot of pick potential on Fnatic right now. Interesting drafting. So Cassante out, Akali out. Don't want the Akali Azir matchup in mid. Pretty low priority on Xin Zhao this game, but we haven't seen any junglers picked yet. Vi going to be out of the pool. So jungle here, presumably. Thank you for the 500 bits. Really loving the breakdown so far, but where's the burger? Oh man, I'm sorry. Shobes 572. I'm sorry, I lack a Frank burger for you today. I'm not going to eat burgers every day, guys. That would make me very fat.
You obtain control of an area. It's so hard to regain that control. But they will not go for it. They prefer the stable engage of the realm, which I assume we will get paired with some heavy AP damage.
What other mids besides Azir, Akali, and Nico? Well, you forgot the old LeBlanc there, my friend. That one is very viable. Gragas as well.
Wonderful counter pick. He's hovering the Renekton. I would love a GP here, but it's a bit hard these days with GP surviving the Jax, especially if you have a Sejuani. It's not the strongest 2v2, but Renekton obviously.
Yeah, Renekton Sejuani. You want actual power in your ganks into the top side.
I like the draft that Fnatic is building for themselves here because
I like Fnatic's draft.
Pretty difficult to execute side lanes with Renekton on one, Kalista Blitzcrank on the other, but they also have a stable, solid team fighting in Azir and Sejuani, so they're not a harm.
Yeah, it's a very well balanced team composition. You actually have the opportunity to punish here in the bot lane, right? Because you're probably going to get pushed in a little bit early, but that just gives you an opportunity to come down and gank with the Sejuani and make a play around, blitz hooks. So this feels pretty good. You have like pretty strong side lanes, and the Azir is not going to need probably much babysitting in mid. So honestly, a lot of this is going to come down to execution, I think, from SK, because like you really want to get something done in the bot side with the Draven.
But early game is really well the magic.
Vi would be better and not Sedge. Well, yeah, but Vi was banned, so. We don't have that option. And I think Sejuani's perfectly fine with the champions that they picked, especially strong with Renekton, right?
today as well, Brox. They're saying that could be a bait, but also just one of those picks that is high risk, high reward potentially. Like you need to make it work. Like if this
Not a lot of wave clear. I mean, I think you're okay. That's true. There's not a lot of wave clear, but neither team has a high amount of wave clear. So Azir is still pretty good, but you have to play around him. What do you think about the Hall of Legends? Who would be your first player inducted? I don't think players should be inducted until they retire. So, like, you can't put Faker in there. There's a lot of players that probably deserve kind of a chance to be in the Hall of Legends, right? Due to their longevity. I mean, Ambition is obviously one that comes to mind immediately. Uzi be another one. Uzi's still kind of, isn't he still playing? Is he signed? Actually, I don't even know. Is he signed to a team again this year? Because he was signed last year. I was actually hanging out with Ambition the other day, guys. I was hanging out with Ambition. Yeah, XPEK, I don't know, man. Score. I mean, look, Score's my favorite player, but Score didn't have, you know, unfortunately, the Score's results were not very good over the course of his career. I would pick Score. I mean, there are players like Prey's another good one.
Potential for rookie of the year. Humanoid.
Mad Life, yeah.
That is a very difficult person to go up against. 300 LEC games from half of Yanko's, but still, I mean, the impact that this man has left on the LEC and the legacy he is no doubt going to continue to make is something that I think a lot of fans are going to have memories of.
Mata, there's another good one.
Absolutely. I mean, again, look, Humanoid has been
Insect's an interesting one. You know, he did make a world final in 2014.
Yeah, it's a small sample,
but I don't think he's quite good enough.
On day one, I think it was around the 8 to 9 minute mark. They quickly made that pick. You see them yesterday as well, where they were finding these moments to lean in and find the enemy jungler again on the opposite side of the map as well.
Like, we're going to talk about Korean junglers who don't necessarily have like the winning accomplishments. I think Score is much more important than Insect. Dandy, no, Dandy was he peaked really hard, but he didn't have as much longevity as Mata, in my opinion. That's not even an opinion. That's just a fact. In my fact. Canyon's still playing, my dude. We have to pick players who are retired. But yeah, I was hanging out with Ambition the other day because my wife and Ambition's wife worked at Twitch Korea together. Obviously, my wife hasn't worked there in years, but his Ambition's wife, you know, it sucks. She lost her job, obviously, with Twitch Korea shutting down soon, or is losing her job. But they have a kid now. So there are these things in Korea called kids cafes. So, like, the parents can go have a coffee, and then there's, like, playgrounds inside for the kids. So we were hanging out there with our kids.
I think this is a very different story from what we've seen from SK, right? Like we were talking about, DOS has looked good on the roams, but it hasn't been as much about the 2v2 in that bottom side of the map. So I'm curious to see now where you're taking the Draven and you're trying to go and contend with things, how it's going to work out. But Isma wants to stop.
Interesting that we're going for a dive so early. That's clean rel engage. Ooh.
We were saying it's about mid jungle, but so relevant.
That was real clean.
In that bottom side of the map. So I'm curious to see now where you're taking the Draven and you're trying to go and contend with things, how it's going to work out. But Isma wants to stop off top.
I mean, he didn't respect it, right? Like, Oscarinen should have flashed that.
Irrelevant is going to get first blood. We were saying it's about mid jungle, but so relevant is that now top side.
Oscarinen didn't get the chance. Immediate flash into the CC, the follow-up counter-strike, and Oscarinen's just dead. Great gank from Isma, and now he gets to move back into the spot side. You can even look at the passing.
Very clean gank, actually. Irrelevant's been really good, too. DOS has been hit or miss. Like, DOS's Bard game was a tragedy, but his other Renata game this week I thought was quite good. Maybe he's just bad at Bard. I guess with Oscarinen, at least he has the flash now to potentially make a counterplay onto the top side, but you know, you only burn the jungler, the rel flash. So Jack still has flash up as well.
SK in the early game.
Also, I mean, his champion, right? This was the champion that he made his name on. Brilliant in a side lane, fantastic at finding these moments in team fights to pop off, and very quickly started to rise as one of the top laners that we had in the LEC, and really, I mean, making sure that he was relevant in that
The Shy? No,
so
the Shy.
I'm curious to see if we get a very similar story here now that Jax has only become more. More
I haven't watched LoL for some years. There's still a paycheck discrepancy between you and NA? Not anymore, buddy. NA'd be broke.
early lead over the counter pick that Oscar went.
NA is broke. NA in the dumpster.
How top develops, because we know Isma now transitioning to the bot side. How proactive is this Rel jungle going into Fog of War? Jun's looking for the hook. He throws it, but now the lens sees him out. That timing for Jun. We know Isma now transitioning to the bot side. How proactive is this Rel jungle going into Fog of War? Jun's looking for the hook. He throws it, but now the lens sees him out. That timing for Jun was so well needed. Otherwise, it could have been a kill there for SK again.
Good call from Isma.
They're playing coy here around the hook cooldown. They're trying to, Razor's trying to see if they can bait them in a little bit. All right, they know the Rel's gone. Is it time?
From that, not overextend, and
Here we go.
Jun though might want to try and make this happen.
Finding it, flashes on in, waiting for that rocket grab. Doss trying to dodge around. He flashes himself.
Nice patience.
Over here as Doss looks for the reset, but he ain't getting it. Noah gets one. Now onto X-Kick as he flashes away. It's a Ren City, but X-Kick is out of range. All four summoners gone. A kill over to the Callista. A wave pushing in.
I mean, they can kill Exekick. Like, he needs to move, yeah.
Jun making this look like in-houses, immediately going aggressive onto Doss.
Oh, yeah.
Gets the knock-up, waits for the flash from Doss before he follows up the hook. And Razork is just keeping Exekick busy that whole time, forcing his...
If NA were to have won Worlds, would they still be broke? I mean, I think it depends on when they would have won Worlds, but, I mean, it certainly would have helped the narrative about them being internationally competitive, right?
It's a Callista with a kill as well, and I think more importantly, even though it doesn't have the win rate in the LEC so far, we know what Callista does early game, and especially when Draven is denied, he might not die.
You know, I
but
think...
denied from getting anything in the bottom
I think
lane
it's...
early on.
I think it's real. This is why I just think you can't.
Shoulders back to even as Niski tries his
Like, NA's just doomed. It's because they didn't develop a competitive or compelling second-tier league like Europe did, and the fact is that... Hold on a second. Yeah, Jin's everywhere, man. Oh no! Oh my god, the Dominus didn't actually finish him off. The AoE. Oh no. Oh, Razork doesn't win this. Oof. Collegiate was supposed to be that. Nah, man. Collegiate was never supposed to be that. Because you're too old by the time you get into college. Like, by the time you finish college, most professional players and most teams want players who are like 17, 18 years old. They don't want a 22-year-old rookie. Nobody wants that. What it was supposed to be was high school, right? But the problem is that because Play Versus was so shit for so long. Play Versus is actually good now, guys. Play Versus is very good now. They have a new CEO, entirely new management team. I'm doing some consulting for them, actually. I think that they're going to turn it around. But because Play Versus had a monopoly on the high school scene and was like charging schools for the right to participate in the game, you know, we just lost the ability to develop, you know, junior high and high school players. And so now there is nobody who's younger who's playing League of Legends in America. And so we're never going to be competitive within the game. And now the jig is up. Like, Reginald can't lie to people any longer that NA is going to be good internationally and TSM is going to win Worlds. Partially because he just bailed on League of Legends. Ooh, nice. But partially, too, just because nobody's going to believe you anymore after more than a decade of international failures. Right? So who is going to watch North American League of Legends? Thank you, R. Farley, dude. I appreciate it. Bro, that whole banter saga with Casey, Koi, Dom, Yamato, some wild shit. Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. You think Belichick is a good fit for the Falcons? Ooh, man. Hoping the Chargers land Harbaugh. No, we don't want the Chargers to land Harbaugh. That's not good for the Broncos. Maybe Belichick goes to the Cowboys. That'd be spicy.
Isma still here, both level 6 by the way, but Radlock's ulti down. Isma still has the Magnet Storm available. Speaking of which, top side,
I don't think that's going to happen, but I can't believe the Titans fired Vrabel. Like, he could, I bet he'll go to the Cowboys. I think that's more likely to happen. Vrabel's a really good coach, man. Like, I am mind blown that he was fired by the Titans.
As well, good damage on the return back from Humanoid. As Isma comes on in, just pushes him off. This game, Dagda, pretty much as wild as the last one.
I mean, I love that we're getting these two.
Yeah, I would watch NA if NA is good. Yes, that's the point, guys. So I'm just going to pause this for a second. Who is watching NA League of Legends? So as I said, because of the Play versus Monopoly, they killed the high school, like, young person's competitive scene. So there are no young people playing League of Legends in North America. It's not like Europe. They never had a good tier 2 circuit to develop talent. They never had influencers really involved in that tier 2 circuit, like people like Kometo or Ibai, right? And they never had the national brands to kind of go, and they never did anything with regional brands either. Like, you could do East Coast versus West Coast. I've been advocating this for 10 years in NA. I said, build a studio on the East Coast, do an East Coast conference, a West Coast conference, have 12 teams, and then fly them back and forth and, like, cross over, and then have, like, an East versus West playoff. Make it like American sports with conferences. So, yeah, like, if you're older, if you've been a League fan, you probably are still a League fan because you like high quality League of Legends gameplay, which you know you're not going to get from North America. So there's no like regional grassroots audience. There's no young aspirational audience. There's no connoisseur of the game audience. This is why LCS is in a death spiral, guys, because there isn't any audience for a bad region that has no grassroots scene or pride. Right? Who is watching this?
As they came into the year, myself included, I was
like, what is this product designed for? It's bad League of Legends that doesn't even have homers to support it.
The top side is doing work for this squad. Just need to try and lean that now into the bot lane, and Isma wants to do just that. Jun has his jungler.
Like, it's not if you want good League of Legends with, like, English speaking pro players, you can watch LEC.
Behind him, can they get in time for Noah though?
Can they get a catch in as well? I mean, it looks like a death here. Locked up, Magnet Storm there, catch in. Exit kick, find it. Big cash money now for the AD carriers. You know what? Isma dying is only to Jun. Who cares? Look at how much you gave over to Exit kick.
500, 490.
You get that kill onto the Draven, kill onto Jun, not the end of the world, but you're completely zoned Noah off that wave as well. So nicely done by SK, just finding that window where Jun, I think, trying to cover in the mid lane in case something happened, but also just Razork not quite able to get down there.
I think the only way you can save it is to do what they did in Valorant and create an America's League and have Brazil and LLA involved. But you can't do that because you sold franchise slots. So you can't, like, you would have to buy out a bunch of teams in order to do that.
Isma's been shadowing. And this is what I've seen from 3 days in a row of watching Isma.
So yeah, it's just, this is why it doesn't matter what Mark Z does because he can't fix the problems. Riot made a lot of really stupid decisions about the growth that, like, just the player base in North America about the game. Play versus getting fucked up was huge.
This is what people expected when they saw Jax coming into it. Irrelevant already made his name on it last year and is very much putting his name forward as the best Jax we have in the league. Incredible stuff up against our Skrinin. Now getting turret plates 2 for himself, and the big advantage. You're going to see 1.7k gold lead for that Jax in the top lane is absolutely absurd.
It's huge, Oscar in it. I mean, again, there's no pushover, but on this Renekton in this game, you can say the opposite, 1200 gold, as you mentioned. And with Dragon up and available, let's see if that transitions across. Oscar just used his teleport to get back up into the top side of the map. You can see as Niski might find a pick here onto Humanoid. He's caught out on his ear. He can't move.
He's been just making the plays, man.
Made the move down. I told you to watch him. He's now 4-0.
Humanoid definitely made to look human in that one. SK doing a phenomenal job of getting in there, picking him off, getting the dragon for themselves. Jun and Noah are still sticking around though. Maybe looking for a hook as SK go back to lane.
Close one. Trying to predict it on the axe from Exakick. But Dragon goes down. It's almost 2K gold lead. Let's do proper math. 1,500 here. It's looking good for SK here in this early game against Fnatic.
And a huge portion of that is irrelevant. The fact that you have this massive lead now in the Jax
You mean
means
the player?
he's going to be, yes,
Yeah.
it is irrelevant the player, because you've got this control for him in that top lane. He's going to be able to continue that pressure, right? You can look for potential 1v1 kills that we've already got. He can look for potential dives as he's getting up towards almost a 2-level lead here coming through here. I won at least anyway.
Again.
And yeah, you can see the quick trades that he's going for. And if you've already got Isma in the area, he's finishing off some of these crabs, or the void grubs even. It's going to make it very, very difficult for Oscarina to hold on to towers. And suddenly you start to be able to use Irrelevant to move around the map, start taking these side lane structures down. He can then lean and threaten these dives with how much gold he has. It's very hard with the amount of lockdown that SK have to escape what SK are trying to achieve here.
I mean, it's not like there's one lane going so well, right? Noah is getting turret plating in the bottom side, so that's great while the Void Grubs are being taken. Fnatic invading bot side, another big plus sign to try and get some gold back into this game. But top being down by almost 2,000. The Draven being able to cash in as well. Irrelevance teleport Dagda, a nice finger you've just used on the screen to show us that that's...
Can't wait to see the fantastic anti-synergy duo of Humanoid Razork for another year. Razork's, or Humanoid's been pretty good, honestly.
Use that to get in towards this bottom lane, or completely ignore every little trip and drab of damage that Oscarina wants to go for and just take more of this Terror's health bar.
Because he's got Void Grubs, he's got 6 of them now as well, right? SK are going to be able to push side lanes as easy as they'd like, using Irrelevant with Titanic. Turrets aren't going to stand a chance. You can see Oscarina still only has the Tunneler. This guy, you know, it's like the Incredibles versus the Mole Rat at the end of the first movie. Who cares about
It's a good reference, The Incredibles, the Tunneler.
He's not even canon. So right now, Oscarina's going to have a big job of holding him off while the rest of the team gets something in this game. Because watch this again. Easy as you'd like.
Yeah, Relevant's firing like a cannon. Every bit of damage is taking Oscarina.
Now they have 6 Void Grubs as well, just to have some salt in the wound here for SK. It's an impressive play from SK.
And with this next wave coming in, that could be top lane tower just gone, or at least Oscarina's not in position where the Rift Tower is about to spawn. SK playing around objectives and this control from Irrelevant so incredibly well.
And I think I'll give the other side of the story while Herald's going down. While it does look good for SK with first turret blood and a 2K gold lead, is the fact that Fnatic at least were able to get some plates of their own. It's Noah on the bottom side that is responding. I was moments ago highlighting the Draven, but Noah's just run up on gold again, which is a great sign for this Callista. And while there's been a lot of movement on the map, continuing to flow towards this top and mid side, bot has been given a little bit more freedom for Fnatic to try and get back into this game and bring a damage source into the mid game in Noah.
And that's why I think Noah and Jun are going to be the people that I'm keeping my eyes on. Look, Humanoid is going to scale. He's going to probably go for the Banshee's Veil on the next one, which is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, the problem with the Renekton pick here is that you just have to get ahead in the early game with this Sejuani, because against the composition that SK has, because there's just so much AoE CC from Renata, Nico, Rel, and Jax that you will never get a flank because somebody will be CCing you, and you will never get into the backline. Like, there's too much peel on this composition unless you are a very fed Renekton. So he's just never going to do anything. That quick gank into the top side that was the dive that was very well executed is so critical.
Elements of the shop in his inventory. A bit of a thrift shop there is okay. Drift it. Oh, God, that's a tight.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you could drift it that hard.
Round 2.
And another turret goes down. You're right. Round 2 should come through. And look at the family. Every time they attack a turret, people come out to play. There's the charge. Does a lot of damage to Razork, actually. And leaves behind like 10 grandchildren, too. So in a turret getting damaged to half, while at least Oscarina...
What are your overall thoughts on Void Grubs? I think it's good. I really like them. I think it creates an interesting tension between early game objectives. I think as we continue to see teams get used to this season of competition, that certain comps are going to prioritize them more compared to others, right? You know, for siege compositions or poke comps, those grubs are going to be very good. Whereas for team fighting compositions, the Drakes are still going to be better. So I think it enables kind of more power in different win styles or split pushing compositions. Grub's going to be super good. I think there was a lot more focus. You know, we've seen just like kind of less early, very predictable early grouping around Drake and just like team fighting in the early game now. It feels like it's the map is a bit more open and dynamic. So I'm a big fan. I like the changes. I mean, the items will get tweaked. Obviously, there's too much burst right now. People are dying too fast. The snowballing is a little intense. But I assume those things can just be balanced out.
Yeah, in the words of Yankos, you are balanced. A 0-3 Renekton, basically near one-shotting Niski, but still gives that tier 2 terror and big win for Oscar. So SK are going to try and trade this for Dragon. That's going to be third Dragon, which is nice to get Cloud Soul, but it's not going to be the massive game changer, I think, coming into this one. Having some extra gold onto Oscar and trying to get him relevant, though, is going to make a pretty big difference.
I mean,
Is there going to spoil? Yeah, we don't care about spoilers here. We're just watching for the love of analysis of League of
how
Legends.
big irrelevant is. He's just picked up Mechanic Rookern, by the way, as well. So 2-item jacks here. And I mean, X-Kick from the earlier cash-in, it's amazing that Fnatic have held that gold.
What is a
gold
Rookern?
gap so close.
I'm unfamiliar with this word.
The big
I'm Googling Rookern.
problem here for Fnatic is that irrelevant with
It just
activity,
comes up
it's
with
just gonna be so
League of
difficult
Legends
for Humanoid
items.
to try and take down.
Rookern
Even towards
definition.
Void Staff at the moment. Maybe goes for Crypt Bloom, but I think it will just be a straight up Void Staff. Yeah, with the blasting one now picked up. Like
It's not a word.
Realize, hang on a second, I've got to try and get through this Jax with
Okay,
a ton
well,
of MR that
we tried. Riot's just making up words.
And then he's going to be just wailing on me.
Will Power Spike be back in the next few weeks? Well, sir, I'm glad you asked. It'll be back next week.
Fantastic, but if you start to make these slow mistakes where
Next
Fnatic are doing a good
week.
job of trading back and
Once
forth,
all the
going
leagues have started,
out
it'll be back.
almost even, thanks to the way Fnatic have been playing. SK still need to find a way to break Fnatic properly.
3 minutes 50 until that Dragon Soul comes up. Baron going to be spawning soon as relevant. Just pushes the play onto Humanoid. Looking for the adoration again, but X-Kick is pulled on in. Denied. Another stack down. And Irrelevant started off that play, but it is Fnatic who ended as Razork off on the side. He's tanky enough to delay as Isma wants to trade it off. He crashes down. Dagda, are they going too deep? I mean, the question is here, because Fnatic are moving. Jun has the hook available. Razork not tanking enough, it seems. He flashes over. Isma feeling it with the shattering strike down, but he's under turret. Holy moly, Jun with a hook there could have shattered the dreams of SK. As Razork,
HLE or Gen G, which team do you believe? I mean, Gen G definitely has the higher ceiling, right? HLE has more, I think, built-in synergy, because Gen G probably has a lower floor. But I'm hopeful about Gen G. My guy, Keen. So happy for him.
SK over-investing and over-indexing into wrong parts of the map.
This is the most useful 0-3 Renekton I've ever seen. Who cares if he dies at this point? Oscarinen is starting to be worth not too much. X-Kick lost his adoration on death. And as Oscarinen runs for his life, I mean, at least he's buying time so Humanoid can push topside. Yep, Oscarinen also baiting out. Razork's actually here. Wait a minute. Irrelevant jumping on with Dominus available. Buys time.
Irrelevant.
Alive. Jun is here too. He can't find the kill. And he got another inner turret down. Fnatic are up on gold as Niski under the sun turret is looking for Humanoid, but can't finish the deal. Isma coming on in. Needs a crash down with Locket to give it a bit of survivability, but sun turret is being baited around, but Humanoid's got no friends here. He gets shut down, and it's gold over to Niski here in this game.
That could be the Baron, though. I mean, yes, Fnatic were giving SK a bit of a runaround, but they ran them straight towards the big purple worm, and now SK are on it. Niski low, no ult availables on many of these big engage tools that you need.
Well, damage is going down fast enough. Dagda with a clutch pickup that this could be Baron off the back of that play. Is huge as Jordan gets the hook, but it's
Nice flank by Niski.
doesn't care. He wants to be close. Is running forward. The crash down. Isma gets the 3.
Oh, nice engage by Isma.
Even better from DOS as he brings in Oscarinen, who doesn't have the dominance available from the last play. Jun, stop hooking the jack.
Ooh. That's pretty well played by both teams, actually.
Jun has to run out of there. It stops the Baron with so much burnt in the end.
The fact they stopped the Baron, though, is key for Fnatic and SK.
I haven't watched the Heretics game yet. I will. I will watch the Heretics game today.
No ult on Isma, no ult on Irrelevant, nothing for Niski. You were
I agree. I've seen all the. This is the. I've seen all the SK games.
Isma to maybe get in on top of a squishy target, but it never really happened. And Fnatic do a good job of kiting back, keeping key members alive, and getting away with what was an unfortunate death for Humanoid.
Oh yeah, very unfortunate. You know, for Humanoid, being a little bit quiet this game.
Why do you think Niski does really well when he joins the team and then always decays? I don't know if he decays.
You know, props to Humanoid.
I think he just offers some really immediate upside in terms of being very vocal in game, shot calling,
Gold, but still able to keep up with the 2 items
you know, being willing to sacrifice himself in order for his teammates to succeed. But mostly it's probably just his comms in game.
Value is there. Maybe not important right now, because speaking of irrelevant, this guy is on a warpath.
Also just a very good attitude.
Went the other way, so they have no idea that the Jax is behind them. They're being corralled.
Irrelevant running in. He's been so huge this game.
Oh wow, he dodged Humanoid's ult.
Soldiers out. Oscarin now his flanking angle.
So they have no idea that the Jax is behind them. They're being corralled.
Irrelevant running in. He's been so huge this game, and in great spot, he dodges away from Humanoid with the soldiers out. Oscarin now his flanking angle might be irrelevant himself, no pun intended. As SK group up, stay up.
Blitz pulled him out of it. That's so troll, actually. Yeah, I see the hook coming there. I thought he flashed it first, but
Might be irrelevant himself, no pun intended. As SK group up, stay up as a five-man stack in light.
Jun's blitz has been pretty good though. He's been making some decent plays with it.
Humanoid all having no ults available now for the next fight, and all it cost was irrelevant ult. Now look, it will be impactful, but nowhere near as impactful of not having your engage tools available. This now comes down to Jun and the miracle play.
Well, a Humanoid coming in with an elixir knows this fight is so important. Again,
God.
is forever.
Jax with Cloud Soul is so scary.
Trepidatiously as Niski from the back end. X kicks not in the fight as well. Dragon going down the fight starts. Isma
Great stun. Oh my lord. Onto Humanoid and Noah. Yeah, but you lose Baron.
And this team that we did not expect is blowing away Fnatic.
SK needed a new home, and like the wolf, he's blowing down the home of Fnatic, absolutely destroying them.
I think he meant Niski, not SK needs a new home. Dagda flubbed his own analogy. Tragic.
Well, again, goal might go back and forth as it has.
It's kind of crazy that SK got like discount Niski because of Mad Lions.
The map that they want, Dagda. I mean, what a build-up to this point where SK are now in the driver's seat.
And this could be the moment where, at the end of week 1, it is just SK that is sitting 3-0 in the LEC.
Yep.
I don't think a single tier list saw this coming. I don't think Fnatic saw this coming, because they all jump in onto Isma here. And look at Niski. Manages to go with the pop blossom. Irrelevant sets him up.
Oh,
Catches
the irrelevant Niski follow-up, so beautiful.
Dashes way out. And then you've got that beautiful Renata ultimate, the hostile takeover over the top of it. Just the cherry on top of a brilliant fight from SK.
I mean, again, pop blossom from Niski. I think he and Humanoid have been great in these first couple of days, but here on the Nico,
Cabo Jax is irrelevant. Jax is such a contrast. Yeah, it sure is. I hear you on that one.
building up. A 1K gold lead Dagda, it's only that. And even though Soul was denied for the time being, we got to see what happens, because we have a Jax in the side lane with Baron, which I feel like is a big plus.
We still don't have great wave states for SK though. Even though they have the Baron now, it's like, okay, Relevant's pushing this in, but look at where bot wave is, nowhere close to tower. Humanoid pushing out top lane as well. So though you did get the Baron, it's going to be tough for SK to really like crack open the base off of this push. Should get the outer turrets, but I think we will still see this next Dragon fight. We will still see even potential to go towards another Baron or even Elder Dragon as this game goes on, unless Fnatic make a big error.
But Dagda says it's not over. That's what I like to hear. The Fnatic fans are out here. I mean, I'm not sure if it's just one SK guy or if it's grown a little bit. On day 1, I heard him shouting. He's got a lot to compete with, but hey, if SK start 3-0, I'm sure he's going to have a lot more friends pretty quick. As SK hold control after taking down the inner turret on the bottom side. Keep your eyes on the mini-map as well. Top slowly being pushed by Niski. Thank you to our observers who are trying to stop this back here. With the Proto Belt onto Humanoid, they do so. That might make the push a little bit easier, as inner and mid seems to be the transition.
Just making sure the Humanoid can't get in. We start to work on this mid lane tower, but a lot of members of Fnatic here and Irrelevant.
Doing out with a static. Brings in,
Oh, that
and again, Relevant. Yeah, that's not what you want. Doth, that ulti was beautiful. Again, having a good start of the split as the fate's call to get him out. But
Oh my god, the
Rocky jungler
wow.
away. He'll sacrifice his life, but with the inner turret going down as well, it's open.
Izuma just has really good timing, ability timings.
More gold in their back pocket. I tell you what, this guy is feeling himself on the LEC stage.
Yeah, I mean, great engage from Isma, nesting the turret and the turnaround kill as well, but it doesn't mean that he has to give his life, so SK going to slow down the pace again. Going to start backing away. Not having that big engage tool is going to make things a little bit more difficult for them to continue up, but Oscar Ernan overextended.
Slice and dice out, stand aside. Exekick has got some damage here, and he's got DOS boosting him up. Flash away. Renekton now his backline access mitigated here with the core summoner down.
That's what I was going to say. Massive summoner spell to not have for an upcoming Baron fight or even for the Dragon Soul in a minute. Like, that is your access to people like Exekick in these fights. And here, I mean, this was a really great play to start things off with Fnatic, right? You get the stun of Irrelevant, and watch Jun bending the hook in and around Ismail trying to protect him. Just barely sneaking that in onto the Jax in the backline.
Jun's been better than expected.
Has to unload with the takeover, hostile takeover, that's what it's looking for. And then Irrelevant then, this setup with Niski not quite working out where Niski can't get in, but they do takeover, hostile takeover, that's what it's looking for. And then Irrelevant then.
I mean, I think Niski, I mean, he didn't have flash up, so he couldn't make the play. A little bit interesting. I think he just fucked it up.
Nice on both sides, but it is still SK who are encroaching onto these towers, getting the vision set up now for the Dragon in 30 seconds.
Able to take down at least that inner in the bot side, as we saw before. Mid went down as well. Jun with a pick, though. This could be big. It's on to Niski. He has to isolate himself golden, but everyone on top. The flash away Oscar, and it can't catch up now. Exekick too far forward. The Pop Blossom defensively.
Would it really be Niski if he didn't just randomly end 1 or 2 times a game?
And they're still alive. They're surviving out. Isma jumps in again. It's scrappy. It's messy, but Exekick able to step forward. Here comes Irrelevant. Big Hero 6 has to flash away in Jun. And SK somehow no one dies from what was such a sketchy engage.
Yeah, Humanoid though might still go down. DOS gets him.
Irrelevant's damage is nuts. Dagda, look at him go. Flash over again. Another big summoner down from another big member in Fnatic. Thank you so much, Cloud Soul. SK one step closer to being undefeated at the end of week 1.
Yeah, well,
Nice fight from
once the Jax
SK.
gets
Looks
Cloud
a bit
Soul,
nasty, as you say, from the get-go. Very low health. Pick off Humanoid and at least push him back at the
Cloud
end.
Soul very good.
No real contest. That
Very, very good for SK.
But we're not over yet.
Good on Rel, good on Jax, good on Nico.
Bunch of summoner spells
Doesn't
are used
really matter on Draven.
fight. Niski as well, not
I mean, you can just throw out your ult first if you don't want to use it for the execute, just to get more move speed in fights, which obviously can be good. Good on DOS, too, for follow-up to the hostile takeover.
Vice versa for Askernan and Humanoid. This could cause a complete restructuring of this game.
Again, what I like.
Yeah, I mean, it gives Draven the option just to toss it out to either engage or to kite, which can be good.
Our last game of the night.
Gives his ult some more utility.
Isolating ourselves to watching for this Baron that comes up in 40 seconds because, as you're saying, and so rightly so, it's one swing from either side that can change things up, especially in this 3-item territory. We have Terminus picked up with Gwinsu's for Noah. It's those classic 3 items that the on-hit makes so deadly. I think more importantly as well, let's wait for Humanoid's Rabadon's death cap. Big spike that could change the fate of this game as well, as SK hold control for the time being with 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, you just won't get that Rabadon's death cap completed now. Humanoid is just going to have to do it out. He's trying desperately to catch the waves. Maybe he can TP in, but...
It's a fake. Hang on. Pop Blossom, do they know? Yes, they do. Pop Blossom's out. All right, Oscar Renan can count.
The TP back, Humanoid's going to reset. I think that is the Rabadon's death cap now completed. There it is, picked up right before the fight. They got enough gold. Now Fnatic just need enough vision to set this one up. Isma trying to get the flank. Just got spot on a ward there, so Fnatic aware that he's in the area.
Wave's not in order though. Look at the side lane stacked. I mean, for Fnatic, there is an opportunity to send Oscar in there with a teleport himself. Humanoid too, if they want to join in. But remember, no flash available for either of those side laners. Is irrelevant.
What are your thoughts on adding a kernel level anti-cheat for a game that has almost no cheaters? Yeah, it seems mighty suspicious. I love giving Tencent my data. That's definitely not going to the Chinese government, guys.
But there's more out
Just
on
like
SK.
TikTok,
You
right?
still have your
That's definitely not going to the Chinese government.
Tall, they know they've got that advantage.
Look for the Pop Blossom on Niski. 3/4 of the cooldown is down and out. We're waiting a little bit longer. Niski will have that tool available without the flash, but still the tool nevertheless. Baron is their oyster right now with the vision control.
Gameplay-wise, how are the overall changes? I mean, I think the changes have been good, guys. I think the itemization obviously needs some tweaks, but the map changes, I think, are quite interesting.
As Niski is a ward.
His ult is up. His ult is up.
Dagda. Oh, there we go. Oscar is like, it can't be him, but still they fall for it. Niski, you handsome man, finds his moment in the sun. Down goes Oscar and again, Dosa's ulti sweeps through, silences the Fnatic fans, and brings SK into a beautiful 3-0.
Week 1 of
Wow.
the LEC.
Credit to SK, man. I've been impressed with their play so far.
Standing tall. Niski finds the opportunity, but is just barely coming back up. And just like that, the game is done.
The undefeated team at the end of week 1. We didn't think it would be SK. We thought Fnatic G2. But we were wrong and we admit it. Ladies and gentlemen, bow to your new kings of winter to kick us off. 3-0, undefeated. It's SK.
Yeah, very hard not to make playoffs when you're already 3-0 week 1.
Madlines, Koi, and now Fnatic added to the hit list of SK, and a huge amount of that coming from
Really fun to watch SK. I'm into this team, man. Good teamwork. They look clean.
in the 1v1 and team fights as well. But also again,
DOS a little shaky sometimes, but everybody else looking real good.